It's time now for the PHL 11 o'clock news, Friday, October 24th, 2014. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins and your late night news at 9. There are top story at 11 o'clock. Here is a Washington State high school student who opened fire at a cafeteria table full of students, killed one before fatally shooting himself, was described by classmates as a happy, popular football player who recently got into a dispute with another student. In New York, the governors of New Jersey and New York State Friday that they ordered a mandatory 21-day quarantine for all doctors and other travelers who have had the contact with Ebola victims in West Africa. In Sacramento, California, a man armed with an assault rifle shot 3 sheriff's deputies at a civilian, killed 2 of the deputies, and leading dozens of police officers in a wild 6-hour chase at midnight on Friday. President Obama gives a hug to Dallas nurse Steely Pham in the White House on Wednesday. In Washington on Friday, as Miss Pham was just released from the hospital after being declared Ebola-free. A 2-year-old girl who has Molly's first case of Ebola had died on Friday shortly after the World Health Organization warned that many people had potentially been exposed to the virus because she was taken across the country while ill. The telephone survey of 5 likely Massachusetts voters was conducted between October 19th and October 22nd and carries a margin plus a minus 4.4 percentage points as Charlie Baker jumps 9 points in a new Globe poll over Martha Coakley here. In Boston federal court, a judge and a jury has entered deliberations for a week without reaching a verdict in the trial of Rebel Philippos, the friend of Boston marathon bombing suspect Johar Zanarv, as Phillips is charged with lying to the authorities while investigating the bombing for the suspects here. Boston Mayor Marty Walsh has taken a controversial pay raise from city councils. Earlier this month, the council voted to give itself a 23% pay hike, increasing its annual payroll from $87,000 to $107,000. Effective on January 2016 as mayor, Walsh would told that he is taking an endless of a pay raise. Ottawa, a loner, a drag addict, a criminal, a drifter, and lately an Islamic radical, as that was described. Michael Zayap Bibo, a 32-year-old bearded gunman who was shot dead Wednesday after killing a soldier and storming Canada's parliament, aptly fit each of those. As Ottawa, gunmen and radicalism deep in his life crumbled. Egypt has declared a 3-month state of emergency in parts of Sinai Peninsula after at least 31 soldiers were killed in these 2 attacks there. In Jerusalem, Israeli troops on Friday shot and killed a Palestinian teenager who also held American citizenship. The Israeli military said that the forces opened fire as the teenager threw a firebomb onto a main road in the West Bank and that is often used by Israelis. In Istanbul, a senior Syrian Kurdish official has rejected a report from Turkey's president that Syrian Kurds had agreed to let 3 Syrian army fighters enter the border town of Kobane to help them push back besieging Islamic State insurgents. The United States is establishing the global world order by trying to enforce its will. Russian players in it. Vladimir Putin said, warning that the world will face new wars if Washington fails to respect the interests of other countries. A hatchet attack yesterday on 4 rookie officers in New York City was an act of terrorism by a lone assailant who was shot dead, police said. Remains found in a rural Virginia area have been identified as those of missing University of Virginia student Hannah Graham of 47 Friday. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton stood with Martha Coakley, Massachusetts Democratic gubernatorial nominee on Friday afternoon, urging voters to spend the next 11 days telling everyone they know to vote for Coakley. After limiting himself mostly to fundraising during a serious campaign session, President Barack Obama has once again headed out on the trail. Shares in the Seattle online retail giant Amazon slid nearly 11% after hours trading on Thursday to the lowest level since July 2013. The stock market closed out at its best week in nearly 2 years on a positive note on Friday, helped by strong quarterly earnings at Microsoft and other big companies. Here, as we take a look at the Dow Jones closed 6805.41, up 27.51. S&P 500 64.58, up 13.76, and Nasdaq 4483.72, up 30.92. First Niagara Financial Group has said it will close 17 branches across its 4th state footprint, including 5 in Fairfield County, affected on January. In Washington, the Federal Communications Commission said on Friday that it would postpone until early 2016 as a planned auction of airwaves now used by broadcast television stations will be used by mobile phone companies. In a throwback to the popular chat rooms in the mid-90s, Facebook today released a new app, the rooms that will let you chat obviously about topics that interest you. TLC has ended all activities around the series effective immediately since they thought the family matriarch was putting her children at risk for allegedly dating a sex offender. On Thursday, Taylor Swift managed to get some quick change with 3 different outfits for appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live in Los Angeles. Legendary singer Tony Bennett found a likely collaborator and shape-shifted pop superstar Lady Gaga. The two have a united for a jazzy album popular American standards called Cheek to Cheek. Don't quote them, but we think that there's some magic happening during the 2015 Oscars, as Neil Patrick Harris has been tapped to host Hollywood's biggest night and during an appearance on E! News Today's Funny Man dished up his prep and gets fascinated. Alan Eustace, Google's vice president of search, floated up the stratosphere to the New Mexico dawn as the Google executive just got a 136,000 feet smashing world record. Geneticists found a new study that inhabitants of Easter Island met and mated with Native Americans long before Westerners arrived. Scientists from Harvard Medical School have discovered a way of turning stem cells into killing machines to fight brain cancer. In experiments on mice, the stem cells were genetically engineered to produce secret toxins which kill brain tumors. Boston Mayor Mark Walsh has taken a controversial pay raise from city councils earlier this month. The council voted to give itself a 23% pay hike, increasing its annual payroll from $87,000 to $107,000. Effective January 2016, as Mayor Walsh told he's been taking an endless of a pay raise. Okay, let's take a look at New England Insular here at 1106 there. It's in Bayonne, New Jersey, where a third alarm Bayonne Hospital heavy fire on the roof, possibly gas fed command, asking for high-rise packs to the roof as soon as possible as evacuation top floor of the hospital in progress. UT motor vehicle accident on New Hampshire on Route 104 on Route 93 northbound. Off-ramp YC reports all victims extricated as 4 victims transported to the Lake Region Hospital and to the Spirit Memorial Hospital. In Nashville, New Hampshire, Everett Turnpike, exit 2 off-ramp. Car versus pedestrian, NFR, NH State Police and National Police Department on scene. Peter, Channel News Time, 11:07 here, and it is time now for Trevor Board here on this late Friday night here, which is the gateway to the final weekend of the calendar year of October 2014 here, as we take a look at our Friday night traffic highlights here, and it shows a few slow spots in the downtown Boston area as mass back on the westbound side. It is backed up from 93 in Boston all the way down for the Pruitt Tunnel here. Route 1 and northbound side is backed up from 93 down for the Tobin Bridge due to some road work on Tobin Memorial Bridge on Route 1 here. At Boston Road, construction right lane closed on westbound between interchange 22 Copley Square and before interchange 18. Also right controls westbound and also reported by DOT. In Boston off-ramp, but on Story Drive eastbound and at Longfellow Bridge is reported by DOT here. But otherwise, a smooth sailing commute here and a little slow spot here in Connecticut Interstate 91 and the northbound side here. It's backed up in the Winslow stretch here. Period. Channel News Time, 11:08. Time now for the weather report here. Our current conditions here in North Massachusetts at 11:08 here. We got a temperature of 50 degrees on temperature with a humidity of 77%, wind speed northwest about 5 miles per hour, barometer 20.74 inches, dew point about 43 degrees, visibility 10 miles, and wind chill about 48 degrees here. Okay, let's take a look at our current conditions around the region here. 48 degrees on temperature right now in Boston, 49 in Pittsburgh, 47 in Bedford, 48 in Beverly, and Gloucester, 49 in Haverhill. 46 in Worcester, 48 in Sturbridge, 49 in Webster and Milford, 50 in Norwood, 51 in Taunton, 50 in New Bedford, 52 in Plymouth and Provincetown, 50 in Falmouth and Chatham, 51 in Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket, 53 out of Cape Cod Bay, 52 in Block Island, 51 in West Stirling, Rhode Island, 48 in Smithfield, 53 in New York City and Islip, 54 in Montauk, 55 in Long Island Sound, 53 in Bridgeport, 50 in New Haven, 46 in Denver, 48 in Waterbury, 45 in Meriden, 50 in Hartford and Winslow, Connecticut, 51 in Springfield, 48 in Amherst, 49 in Athol, and in Greenfield, Massachusetts, 46 in Northampton, Massachusetts, 47 in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and Albany, New York, 47 in Bennington, Vermont, 45 in Brattleboro, Vermont, 45 in Rutland, Vermont, 46 in LaQuarrie, New Hampshire, and in Stratford, New Hampshire, and Manchester, New Hampshire, 48 in Keene, New Hampshire, 47 in Concord, New Hampshire, 49 in Nashville, New Hampshire, and Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and 51 up in Portland, Maine. Here, our map situation shows a warm front from off the Oregon coastline stretching down for Oregon, and stationary front down for Idaho, down for western Wyoming, and cold front from central and northeast Wyoming, down for South Dakota, up in Minnesota, up in Ontario, warm front from northern Ontario and the northwestern Quebec, and stationary front from eastern Quebec, eastern Cuba, and out to sea here. We get a low pressure from southwestern Iowa, and a far by from southwestern Iowa, down for Kansas, western will come down for Texas, far by from southern California, down for the Gulf of California, with a low pressure in the Gulf of California here, and low pressure western portion of Wyoming. And a triangle of high pressure coming much to the southeastern states, ending up in the Ohio Valley. And got high pressure in southeastern Montana here. 58 degrees at temperature right now here in Detroit, 51 out in Pittsburgh, 63 out of Washington, D.C., 60 out in Atlanta, Georgia, 76 in Miami, 72 in Brownsville, Texas, 76 in Dallas, Texas, 66 out in Kansas City, 60 in Omaha, Nebraska, and Chicago, Illinois, 62 out of Minneapolis, 47 in Great Falls, Montana, 54 in Seattle, it's 60 out of San Francisco, 71 in Los Angeles, 80 out of Las Vegas, 80 out in Phoenix, 67 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and a pair of 58 in Salt Lake City, Utah, and Denver, Colorado. Here, as we are going to take a look at our radar situation here, and it shows a few patches of light rain showers in eastern New Hampshire and stretching on western portions of Maine, and around the south of Portland and near the Auburn, Lewiston area around Gray. And a lot of rain showers around southwest of Bengal and then out the mid-Maine coastline here, around the Ellsworth, Rockland areas here. And take a look at the rain showers around northern Maine here and stretching down the eastern portion of Quebec and down northern New Brunswick here. And spotty rain showers around Nova Scotia around north central portions of New Brunswick here. Spotty rain showers around west central portions of Quebec, eastern and central western portions of Ontario here, and we're seeing some spotty rain showers on Bahamas and one of western portions of Cuba here. And a lot of the rain showers in central western portions of Montana, stretching in northern Idaho, down for Washington State, down for northwestern portions of Oregon, a lot of rain showers on northwestern portions of California here. Sleet and snow showers on western Washington Mountains here, and one Olympic Mountains of Washington State here. And take a look at our satellite loop here, and it shows a lot of clouds coming in from Maine, New Hampshire, and then up to Quebec and then Atlantic Canada. And a lot of clouds coming from Ontario and a spotty patch of clouds covering much of the Great Lakes and stretching them up in the northern Minnesota. And a lot of clouds from the Dakotas, stretching to Montana, up in northern Idaho, western Idaho, down for Oregon, Washington State, northern California, and then up to southern portions of British Columbia and Alberta, and a lot of clouds from northern British Columbia, Alberta, and northern Saskatchewan, up in Manitoba here. A lot of clouds from Missouri, down for northeastern Arkansas here. And a lot of clouds from the southern Mexico stretching on Cuba and up to the Bahamas here. And take a look what is brewing in the tropics here. And take a look at disturbance number 1 here. It's a broad trail of low pressure over the extreme western Caribbean Sea as associated with a remnant of Tropical Depression 9. This system is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms, and development, if any, will be slow to occur to the low drifts eastward or meanders for the next few days. Formation chance fires, low 10% of formation chance fire days, low 20% here. And let's take a look at Eastern Pacific here. Disturbance number 1. An earth disorganized continental and thunderstorm centered a couple of hundred miles south of the Gulf of Tijuana Pataki is associated with a trail of low pressure and environmental conditions that are favorable for development about the weekend here. However, these conditions are favorable to forecast to become more conducive for tropical cyclone formation early next week while the system drifts steadily northwestward. Formation chance fires, low near 0% of formation chance fire days, high 60% here. And Anna just regenerated itself into a hurricane here. As a 5 p.m. Washington time, it's max the same winds 75 miles per hour and wind north breeze about 23 miles per hour. Settle location 31.0 to the north, 167.8 to the west. Here's our latest weather advisory. Santa becomes a hurricane again. There are no coastal watch waters in effect at 5 o'clock Wire time, 3 UTC. The center of hurricane that was located due to latitude 31.0 to the north, longitude 167.8 to the west. And Anna is moving toward the northeast near 23 miles per hour, 37 kilometers per hour. Will continue to accelerate. In the general direction over the next 48 hours, sustained winds near 75 miles per 120 km/h with higher gusts. Some weakening is forecast during the next 48 hours. Hurricane force winds extend upwards up to 25 miles per 35 km from the center end. Top storm force winds extend upwards up to 105 miles per 165 km/h. And the estimated minimum central pressure is 98 millibars at 29.18 inches. Here. As we take a look at the forecast success around the country. Heavy rain will continue for the Pacific Northwest this weekend, and conditions remain quiet for the remainder of the nation. It'll be a wet weekend for many places across the Northwest as a strong system will move in off the Pacific Saturday morning as it moves across the Rockies and in the northern and central plains by the end of the weekend. Here, plenty of moisture streaming in off the ocean will support multiple rounds of organized and heavy rain, especially for coastal regions from the northern California to Washington State. As well as the higher terrain of the northern Cascades eventually wets the surface but moves onshore. The rain will spill over to the Northern Rockies, but the most organized of the precipitation should remain confident to the favorable slopes of the highest terrain, as a few snow showers may also be possible to highest peaks. Here, elsewhere across the nation, weather looks relatively quiet as the northeast moves away from the New England coast, so will the rain. Only light showers remain for the northernmost part of the Maine at this point. Beyond, higher pressure takes over the eastern United States and ocean, and with some dry and warmer weather. Meanwhile, a few showers may be possible as the system moves across the Great Lakes, and the heavy rain across southern Florida should be ended by tonight or tomorrow morning. Here, we're going to take a look at our forecast discussion around the region here. Low pressure will move into the maritime stack as a weak ridge of high pressure moves. Dry and seasonable mild weather Saturday. All cloud front will sweep across the region Saturday night and may be accompanied by a few showers, then dry and blustery weather falls. For Sunday, we'll warm early next week and a cold front may bring showers Tuesday night and Wednesday. A high pressure briefly visits on Thursday with the potential for a low pressure system in our vicinity at the end of the next work week. Back edge of cloud line moving across the Connecticut River Valley and advancing steadily eastward. Clouds will continue to roll as mid-level flow transitions from cyclonic to anti-cyclonic response to a week. Shortwave rigid approach from New York and Pennsylvania as a seasonally cool down with temperatures falling into the 40s, upper 30s well into the modest northwest wind of 5 to 50 miles per hour with gusts up to 20 miles per higher terrain. And along the coast will make it feel a bit cooler. And as previous forecast captures these tells naturally, solely change will be needed. This forecast update was to modify early grids to better reflect the current trends per satellite imagery and surface observations. There, as we take a look at our weather notes there. Rainfall totals for the Massachusetts towns that got hit with that nor'easter. South Weymouth, 6.5 inches of rain. Beverly, 6.3 inches of rain. Brockton, 6.1 inches of rain. And Carter, 5.6 inches of rain. Combine the Boston rainfall. In September, they got 0.7 or 100 inches rain. October, after that nor'easter, 5.81 inches of rain, so that will alleviate the drought here. And this weekend will be perfect weather for outdoor activities as midweek will have some warmth, followed by a cool weekend to start the first weekend of November. As tonight's low predicting 37 to 48 degrees. In tomorrow's highs, we are going to predict about 60 to 65 degrees, and Sunday will predict 52 to 60 degrees. As sunny and warm for Saturday, thanks to Book 2. Weak high pressure air as a cold front will sweep across the region here. Saturday night, bringing a few isolated showers and cool temperatures and blustery conditions expected for Sunday here. Alright, 7-day forecast it goes like this here. For tonight, while you're sleeping in the overnight hours of tonight, we're going to have some mostly clouds low about 41 degrees. Northwest wind about 3 to 5 miles per hour. Winds could gust as 20 miles per hour. Saturday, sun's got about 64 degrees. West wind about 3 to 8 miles per hour. Saturday, chance of showers, a slight chance between 11 p.m. and midnight. Park got low about 45 degrees. Southwest wind about 7 miles per hour. Just base 20%. Sunday, most of the sun's got about 57 degrees. West wind about 10 miles per hour. Gust size 24 miles per hour. Saturday night, most of the got low about 40 degrees. West wind about 8 miles per hour. Here. Monday, sunny, the most of the coast got about 58, low about 42 degrees. Tuesday, most sunny, the most got high about 65, low about 54 degrees. Wednesday, chance of showers, part of the sun's got about 68. Chance of precipitation 30%. Wednesday night, most of the clouds got a low about 46 degrees. Thursday, most of the clouds got about 58. Friday night, part of the clouds got a low about 40 degrees. For Halloween, Friday, chance of showers, part of the clouds got about 57 degrees. Chance of precipitation 30%. Peters with a phrase of the night. A wonderful weekend on tap after a wet week here. Peter, Channel News time. 11:20 and it is time now for Sports Roundup here as we're going to take a look at the high school football scores around Massachusetts and Rhode Island. We're going to start it off in the Bay State here. As Hanover got shut out by Middleburg 28-0 here. Xavier Brothers over Boston College High 21-13. Andover 35, Lowell 14. Lunenburg nipping Littleton 26-24. Westwood over Ramsey 21-20. Shepherd Hill Regional 29. Holy Name Catholic Central Catholic 6. Bishop Fenwick 22. Archbishop Williams nothing. Somerset Berkeley Regional 33. Bishop Stang nothing. Apponequet Regional thrashed Wareham 61-6. Winthrop over Denver's 27-16. Wellesley over Milton by a baseball score. In football, 6-2. Seekonk 48, Old Rochester Regional 20. Wakefield 35, Burlington 14. Northbridge 42, Tingsburg 19. Everett 42, Malden 27. Marshfield 28, Sandwich 6. North Middlesex Regional 28, Hudson 14. Ashland 22, Dover Sherburne 6. Plymouth South 40, Pembroke 8. St. John 23, Barber 21. Catholic Memorial 31, Malden Catholic 16. Greater New Bedford RVT 51, Bourne 30. Duxbury 35, Quincy 14. Brockton 28, New Bedford 21. Norwell 28, Randolph 6. Falmouth 44, Dennis Young Regional 21. Dayton Rehoboth 38, Fairhaven 12. Brighton 24, Madison Park RVT, McKinley RVT, Fenway 12. Crasset, Blanken, Mashpee 27-0 here. Stoughton 19, Foxborough 13. Winchester 35, Belmont 13. And Dorchester blown at Boston English 56-18. Take a look at Rhode Island scores here. Cumberland, Blake, and Cranston Nice 26-0. Johnston 41, Cheryl 22. Rogers over Mount Hope 41-0. North Smithfield 23, Central Falls 12. In the North Lancer report here, the North Lancers girls JV soccer squared to a 1-1 title with Westwood Wolverines here. And in girls varsity soccer and senior night, the North Lancers ran into the Westwood Wolverines buzzsaw as the Wolverines scored 4 times in the first half and never looked back as the Norton Lancers got shut out at home at Adams Field at Norton High on senior night by the Westwood Wolverines 4-0 here. And in girls volleyball, the volleyball team, like the girls soccer team, ran into the Westwood Wolverines buzzsaw as they Wolverines defeat the Norton Lancers 3-1. But good news on the boys' side, the Norton Lancers shut out Westwood Wolverines 1-0 out in Westwood here. Okay, let's take a look at the Major League Baseball. Let's take a look at the World Series game number 3. As the Kansas City Royals behind Jeremy Guthrie put on some stellar pitching tonight out in San Francisco here. As now in the bottom of the ninth, the Kansas City Royals are clinging to a 3-2 lead over the San Francisco Giants in game number 3 of the 2014 World Series. At the series tied 1 game apiece here. The Kenzie Royals jumped out to a 1-0 lead on a Lorenzo Kane roundup, shuts up Brendan Crawford to first baseman Brendan Bell, and Alcides Escobar scores there. And it's 1-0 favor of the Kenzie Royals. And then, top of the sixth, Alex Gordon doubles on a line drive to center fielder Gregor Blanco, and Alcides Escobar scores 2-0 favor of the Royals there. And then Eric Claus makes the 3-0 on a line drive single to center fielder Gregor Blanco, and that scored Alex Gordon to make it 3-0 favor of the Royals. But then, bottom of the sixth, the San Francisco Giants would get a run as Michael Morris doubles on a sharp grab ball to left fielder Alex Gordon. Brendan Crawford scores a Jeremy Guthrie pitcher to make it 3-1 Royals, and then Buster Posey grabs that second baseman Omar Infante to first baseman Eric Hosmer as Michael Morris scores a Gregor Blanco to third base as the Kansas City Royals are clinging to a 3-2 lead in Monday night over the San Francisco Giants at AT&T Park with 2 down and a bottom of 9. Alright, take a look at National Hockey League scores here. With 7:04 left in the third period, Colorado Avalanche are leading the Vancouver Canucks 6-3 through 2 periods up in Edmonton. Edmonton Oilers and the Carolina Hurricanes tied it 2-2 apiece. 8:15 left in the second period, and Anaheim Ducks leading the Columbus Blue Jackets 2-1. Dallas Stars winning in a shootout over the New Jersey Devils 3-2, and Tampa Bay Lightning over the Winnipeg Jets 4-2. Here. In NBA preseason matchup, it was Toronto Raptors over New York Knicks. Parkers 83-80. Minnesota Timberwolves edge out the Chicago Bulls 130-112. Miami Heat over the Memphis Grizzlies 104-98. Houston Rockets over the San Antonio Spurs 96-87. With 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter, Phoenix cleared to a 99-96 lead over the Utah Jazz. At halftime, Sacramento Kings are leading the Los Angeles Lakers 49-48. Golden State Warriors are leading the Denver Nuggets 50-36 with 5:24 left in the second quarter, and Portland Trail Blazers lead the Los Angeles Clippers 46-36 in the second quarter with 4:22 left. Here, MLS scores one score here. Chicago Fire defeated Houston Dynamo 2-1 here. The Bruins will have to spend the next 4 to 6 weeks to try to fill the hole left by the injury to Zdeno Chara, who suffered a knee injury during last night's loss to New York Islanders at the TD Garden here. In a shocker, out in Tampa Bay, Joe Maddon strikes won the American League Manager of the Year with the Tampa Bay Rays as he leaves his job as manager of the Tampa Bay Rays. Ted Bishop was asked Friday as president of the PGA of America over a sexist tweet and Facebook post directed at Ian Poulter. Bishop was irritated by remarks Poulter made in his book on the Ryder Cup captaincy of Nick Faldo in 2008 and Tom Watson this year. Jamie McMurray bumped all 8 of NASCAR's championship contenders with a surprising pole winning run Friday at Martinsville Speedway. Save Nash, age 40, will have to sit out the season for the Lakers as he is out with a back injury. The attorney leading the NFL Players Union investigation of Ray Rice's domestic violence case told the Associated Press the league and the Baltimore Ravens have not been cooperating. Canada's Milos Raonic returns the ball to Belgium's David Goffin during the quarterfinal match at the Swiss Indoor Tennis Tournament at the St. Jacques in Basel, Switzerland Friday as Goffin beats Raonic to reach Swiss Indoor semis. Tomani for the United States fired for the Mexico's Leon Mercado during the United States 3-0 victory Friday. The Players Union has questioned why the NFL's domestic violence training education program treats all players as perpetrators. Oklahoma City on the wall, Sam Presti's office that overlooks the Oklahoma City Thunder's practice court. There's a list saying everything about the 37-year-old general manager has taken his franchise and where he wants it to go. Should Luis Suarez started El Clasico, his new team, after all, a tremendous shape leading La Liga after dropping only 2 points. Shane Gutierrez, who had 2 points in the 3 games with a Philadelphia Phantoms this season, will make his NHL debut Saturday night with a Philadelphia Flyers versus the Detroit Red Wings. In San Francisco, retired White Sox star Paul Konerko and Philadelphia shortstop Jimmy Rollins are the first co-winners of the Major League Baseball's Roberto Clemente Award. All Miss will face few challenges even before its Egg Bowl shutout against Mississippi State, who have forgotten in this national conversation. UCLA faces Colorado in the Boulder on Saturday, having won 7 consecutive games away from its home field at the Rose Bowl dating back to last season. Rafael Nadal will have season-ending surgery November 3rd with appendicitis, which will keep it out of the Paris Masters and ATP Finals in London. And take a look at NCAA college football scores here. On this Friday night here. As Oregon leading California 24-14 with 9:10 left in the second quarter. Cincinnati over South Florida 34-17. South Alabama 27, Troy 13, and Boise State 41. BYU 23 with 7:01 left in the third quarter. And that's going to be it for 11 o'clock Peter Channel News on this October 24th, 2014. On a Friday night, PJ have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good night with a good positive attitude. Good night.